Isosceles triangle theorem. An isosceles triangle is a triangle with at least two congruent sides. And we know that the tick marks represent congruence, so that means that these are equal. These are two congruent sides. The isosceles triangle theorem says that if two sides of a triangle are congruent, then the angles opposite those sides are congruent. In other words, in an isosceles triangle, the base angles are congruent. Two sides of the triangle are congruent. The angles opposite those sides, so by opposite, you see that would mean across from, are congruent. So x equals y. Let's look at our examples. Example 1, find the value of x. So here we see our congruent sides. This angle is across from that side, and this angle is across from that side. So we know the opposite angles are congruent. So x equals 32. Example 2. So again, I always identify my congruent sides first, and then I identify those opposite angles. So we know that these two angles are congruent. So if this angle is x, then this angle is also x. Now to find the value of x, we're going to have to go back to our triangle sum theorem. So we know that all of the angles of the triangle add to equal 180. So x plus 90 equals 180 degrees. 2x plus 90 equals 180. Subtract 90 on both sides. And so 2x equals 90. And now finally divide by 2, and x equals 45. Example 3. So we're going to find the value of x using this information here. So we're told that the measure of angle 2 equals 6x minus 12. So I'm just going to write that in right here. This is angle 2, so that means this is 6x minus 12. Remember, the next thing that I'll do is I always locate my opposite sides. Now here, we see that all of the sides are congruent, meaning this is an equilateral triangle. And so if all the sides are congruent, that means that all of the angles are congruent. So we don't even need to find the opposite angles. So we know that 6x minus 12 equals 60. Add 12 to both sides. 6x equals 72. Divide 6 on both sides, and x equals 12. Our last example is similar to the last. So we're told that the measure of angle 2 is x plus 131. Next thing is we have to do is identify our congruent sides, and here they are. And then let's identify those opposite angles. So here's an angle opposite, and here's an angle opposite. So if this angle is 30 degrees, then that means that this angle is also 30 degrees. Now to find x, we're going to have to reach back to our triangle sum theorem. So x plus 131 plus 30 plus 30. And again, we're just adding up all the angles, equals 180. So x plus 191 equals 180. Subtract 191 on both sides. So x equals -11.